Good morning. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you, sir?
Good. Billy Johnson, are you from Leland originally?
I am.
You grew up in Leland?
Grew up in Leland. My family had People's Drugstore on originally what was Highway 61 before they bypassed it out of town, and so we've been here. My kids are fourth generation.
Tell me about the first time you went hunting. Who took you hunting the first time you went?
Well, my dad, and we went squirrel hunting out in Stoneville Woods.
Is hunting like a father-son thing?
Hunting is like an instinct, and I think it's stronger and more in some people than it is in others. With every generation of kids, and notice I'm not saying boys, I'm saying kids. They wake up on a Saturday morning. Some of them watch the comedies on TV. Some of them fooling with a bicycle. Some of them playing ball, and some of them pick that BB gun up with that fishing rod and they go hunting. I mean, our ancestors were hunter-gatherers, and I think it's technically classified as a sport, but I think it's an instinct that's in all of us.
You've got a first-class museum here. Tell me about the history of the museum, how all this got started, and how long it took to get all this together and get it open.
Well, I've written 700 or 800 outdoor stories. I was the outdoor writer for the Greenville paper and the Leland paper. In some kind of way, I don't know, I was lucky enough to have presence of mind. Now, this is in the days before cell phones and scanning things and all, to whenever I did a story about somebody, if they had 40 or 50 pictures, I'd copy them all. And so after you do, several hundred stories like that, you end up with a lot of old pictures. And my wife came up with the idea that she said, every time you write one of these stories about these old hunters or fishermen, you copy 30 or 40 pictures and you can't use but 2 in the paper. And said, you got an enormous collection there. You need to think about something, to do with it. So I was going to Montana, and I got iced in Rapid City, South Dakota, and my daddy was a pharmacist, and he said, man, is the road clear to Wall, South Dakota? And I said, yeah. He said, go see the Wall drugstore. And the Wall drugstore is right on the border of the Black Hills and the Badlands, and it's 4 or 5 museums in there. And when I walked in and saw what they had done with those old buildings, it was just like an acorn fell out of a tree and hit me on the head. I immediately knew what to do with the pictures. And it took it took 5 years, between renovating the building and people come up to me all the time and say, well, I hate you don't write anymore. I said, no, I do write, but I'm writing text panels and biographies and stuff for the museum. And it took Robert Hitt Neal, Bob Neal, and I sat down and wrote all this stuff. And he may be more interested in something than I was. Anyway, we split up the duties of writing all the text for this museum. And when we got to the point to where we said, okay, this is a list of what we had to do left, we just split it, and really enjoyed working with Bob. He's a talented writer, knows a lot of history. Bob's like me, he's a folklorist. I'm not a historian, I'm a folklore. I want the story. I don't want to know just, what happened and when. I want to know, and if you look at Mississippi, much has been written and said and documented about especially the Delta, our musicians and our sports athletes, but I'll put our outdoorsmen as far as skills and innovativeness. God bless Mississippi with vast natural resources, and the people that were here before us, each tribe of Indians would be on a different river, or thereabouts, and they had their legends, their legendary hunters and fishermen. And when the settlers came, the Indians taught them what they knew. But I mean, I was 2,300 miles from home. I was at a North 40 Outfitters in Havre, Montana, and I went in the sporting goods part. And one wall was a great big Primos Speak the Language banner, and another wall was big Mossy Oak banner. And I swelled up with pride. It made me realize, that what an impact that our outdoorsmen have. And, after the museum was in the planning stages, I guess, I went to the Buffalo Bill Historical Center in Cody, Wyoming, and 5 museums. When you buy a ticket, it's good for 2 days because you can't see it all in one. And I walked around the corner, and there was a Wyoming Outdoor Hall of Fame, and a light went off in my head. And then I came home and I realized, Preston Pittman is in the National Outdoor Hall of Fame. Paul Elias Bass Fishing Hall of Fame. A lot of our bird dog trainers are in the National Field Trial Hall of Fame. Never been honored at home. And so that's where the idea came from. That's when the realization came from, that we needed to honor our outdoorsmen here in Mississippi. And so then that's when we did added the planning for the Mississippi Outdoor Hall of Fame. So.
Thank you, Billy Johnson. Can you tell me what the hours are here, and is there an admission charge?
Yes, it's hours are 10 to 5 Monday through Saturday, and adults are $10, and seniors and groups are $7, and kids under 16 are free.
Thank you, Billy Johnson. You've got a first-class operation.
I appreciate that. I'm glad you came to see it.